Welcome back, my fellow mobile gamers of YouTube, and Merry Christmas to everyone celebrating that. Hope you are having some great holidays, if you do have holidays, and I hope you do have holidays, because I've got some great games to share with you guys today that are probably gonna take up hours of your next coming days if you really start getting into them. These are amazing games, and they include a completely free and offline playable pirate-themed adventure game, a super fun Worms-like 2D turn-based PvP shooter, and a unique arcade platformer with an awesome level editor and a very active community of creative people creating some of the most challenging levels I've ever played in a mobile game. So be sure to subscribe and leave a like if you like what you're seeing here today, and with that, let's just dive straight into today's first game, which is also the game that honestly impressed me the most this week because of just how polished it is and how many features it has, considering that it has been made by a tiny indie team. It's a game called Slingers, and it's this hilariously fun 2D turn-based PvP shooter with sling mechanics reminiscent of that found in popular PC titles like Worms, and then wacky weapons ranging from ninja stars to fireballs and, of course, even lasers. In the 1v1 real-time ranked or friendly matches, both players start with 2 to 3 characters scattered around the map and a predefined deck of 8 weapon cards, of which we draw 4 on our hand, and then we use some of those, and then we draw a couple of more, so we always have 4 cards of weapons on our hand. On each turn, we then select a weapon that we drag, aim, and release to destroy our opponents, or blast them off the map completely. Every card has a mana cost, and for every turn, our mana pool increases by 1, which means we can use multiple weapons per turn towards the end of the match, and really just makes the matches more and more exciting the further you get into them. There are 50 unique character designs and 40 weapon cards to unlock and level up by collecting more of the same card. And we get these cards as rewards from playing normal matches and progressing in the free and paid battle pass systems. Overall, Slingers is just a high quality, very polished indie game. Its well-designed arena maps rotate throughout the day to keep things fresh, and the developers work closely with the community on Discord. It is the best and most frenetic PvP slinger/artillery game I've played on mobile till date, and I hope that you guys are gonna like it as well. But what about the monetization system then? Well, monetization of Slingers happens through a few incentivized ads, a $4.99 season pass, and then in-app purchases up to $13 that allow us to progress faster. My experience with this system has been that since we're matched based on a rank system and all weapons can also be grinded through normal gameplay, I have not yet met unfairly strong paying players in this game, although they do have a pay to progress fast advantage. The game requires online access, it takes up 169 MB of space, and if you're a fan of Worms, Pocket Tanks, or any game like that, this is an absolute must-play. Now, for this week's next game, we'll continue with yet another very unique one called Astrogon, and this one is a fun neon-style vertical arcade platformer with, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, a solid level editor and a creative community that just creates the most insanely challenging levels. The objective, though, seems easy enough. We gotta collect 3 stars, and then basically just finish each level as quickly as we can by tapping the left and right side of the screen to swiftly jump from platform to platform. But here's the issue, though. Our character and the platforms can either be red or blue, and you guessed it, touching platforms of the opposite color means instant death. There's no health system, we're just dead, done for, we're gonna start over from scratch, no checkpoints either, it's really hardcore. Fortunately, red and blue orbs allow us to switch color, and along with other gameplay altering objects that are scattered throughout each level, they are what makes this game truly challenging. The elaborate community features also allow us to comment on each user-created level, which is something I've never seen before in a mobile game, and of course we can attempt to beat its world records. And combined with the simple controls, upbeat soundtracks, and levels that are relatively easy to finish, but incredibly difficult to complete fast with all 3 stars, Astrogon provides one of the best arcade platform experiences on mobile, no doubt about it. Creating our own levels and unlocking individual community-built levels does require tokens, though, that we get by spending stars that we earn through playing levels. And Astrogon then monetizes by selling additional stars and through occasional forced and incentivized video advertisements between levels that can be removed through a one-time $2.99 in-app purchase. The game can be played offline, it takes up only 122 MB of space, and if you like arcade platformers, you have to take this one for a spin, and honestly, if you do, give the level editor a try. I was surprised to see that people actually played the level I created, and it was a pretty thrilling experience to read the comments and see what sort of records people were able to make on the level that I created. It's really a great experience. And then we've got Elly and the Ruby Atlas, which is a completely free, offline playable adventure RPG where we travel the seas to trade valuable goods as a captain, fighting pirates, crafting gear, and customizing our ship along the way. I think what really surprised me about this game was just how big a that part of the game this trading aspect was. So we travel from harbor to harbor and we buy and sell cargo to earn gold. Each harbor produces one or more goods, and since all prices are based on demand and supply, the prices are lower the greater the supply is. So you have to go to a harbor, figure out what that harbor is creating, check out the supply, buy the goods, and then find another harbor where there's less supply of that good, and then you can sell it there for profit. Harbors also feature main story quests and multiple side-scrolling action-based combat missions where we must defeat pirates and colonists to earn blueprints, which we then use to craft new gear or ship upgrades that let us handle more crew members and more cargo. And this is how we progress in the game to eventually discover the entire world map. The game has a very unique combat system as well that allows us to target the head, chest or legs of our opponents, but we must also block and move back before the enemy attack as they deal a lot of damage, especially early on in the game. I would absolutely say that trading and exploring are the main reasons to play this game, but the uniqueness of the combat system makes it decently interesting as well. But you want to know what the real kicker is? Elly and the Ruby Atlas is completely free to play with no ads and no in-app purchases. It can also be played offline, it takes up 394 MB of space, and I think if you've been looking for a pirate-themed adventure trading game, this is some of the best mobile gaming has to offer, and it's also a truly hidden gem. It's not very popular at this point, so do go check it out and support the indie developer if you like the game. And that was it for the last episode of 2020, but I do hope you'll check out my best games of 2020 end of the year video if you haven't already. It should be out by now, and then of course stay tuned for the next upload already on the 2nd of January 2021 for another year of mobile gaming. Thank you very much for watching, hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of the year, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.